and the Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about Voltas, a very interesting company that has not performed that well over the last 2 years or so, and the stock has not done anything. But it looks like it's about time that the company would start performing with its different projects. So we'll discuss about Voltas in detail. Let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position or any share that I talk about should do it with their own due diligence and research. And I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about Voltas, a small request: kindly support me on Patreon. Once you do that, help me grow the channel, help you also ask me questions and ink out answers in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and number of podcasts I put up from time to time. And also, if you can get $100, you can pay $100 upfront. You get 1 year access by paying for 10 months. So that's a 20% discount. And if you cannot pay on Patreon, you can get the YouTube membership on a monthly basis or a WhatsApp membership on a yearly basis. For that, for the WhatsApp membership, you need to email me, and for YouTube membership, you can just hit the join button and join me there with a $10 membership there. For detailed market or company talk or number of stocks you're holding, you can directly contact me for that, for analyzing stocks with a fee. Now let's discuss about Voltas. So for that, let me take you again to the screener website, and we'll discuss in detail as to what Voltas does, and then how are the numbers and why I feel that the stock could do exceedingly well over the next 8-10 months, 1 year from here on in, and what lies ahead for the company. So I'm on the screener website, and this is Volta. So currently the stock is trading around 855 levels, a market cap of 28,000 crores. So in no manner it is a small cap, it is a mid cap company and a renowned brand in the AC space, but they have a lot of other businesses that we'll talk about in just a bit. Currently it is trading at around at the PE is around 366. It's showing like that because they had a couple of quarters in which they showed losses. So first let's just discuss about what the company does, and then we'll discuss about its numbers as well. So Voltas is basically engaged in the business of air conditioning, refrigeration, electromechanics projects, or EPC contract manufacturing or contracts that they get. It's an EPC contractor both in domestic and international geographies, in Middle East and Singapore, etc. So that's what Voltas does. Major business comes from air conditioning, major air conditioning. You have commercial air conditioning, but it was created basically as an EPC model, and to do large EPC projects as well. And it was established something like 50-60 years ago. So currently, what is the current, you can say, the cooling products, you can say, current divisions in terms of its segmentation. So its segment one is the unitary cooling products, that is around 36% of the revenue, in which there are air coolers and you can say commercial refrigerators, even refrigerators they sell. And then they have their expansion that they did for this the cooling products, etc., which they did in 2021. So we are looking at a scenario where the demand could pick up going forward. Engineering projects contribute to around 58% of their revenue. Domestic engineering, so into that and into international as well. In terms of domestic, they have integrated end-to-end solutions in electromechanical projects, and it extends to mechanical, electrical, and you can say plumbing projects that they get throughout. Whereas in international projects, they have majorly their projects is in the Middle East, and in the, you can say, Gulf countries. They have around, you can say, they have completed around 130 projects in these countries. So they have their the HVAC product business, in which they make these big HVAC, you can say, assemblers for you can say metro as well as other trains, or large machinery in which AC is installed. For that, they make these kind of products. They have expanded their, you can say, base in Gujarat for that factories and you can say establishments. And this third segment is engineering products, which is 5% of the total revenue, not that big, but 5% of the revenue comes from engineering products like textile machinery and mining and construction products that they sell. They have 55% margin in the spinning machinery division. So that is a sizable market share that they currently hold, although it's only 5% of their total business. So majorly they have imports is less. They have low dependency on imports because they most of the, you can say, products that they make is in house. So basically whatever products that they produce or raw material, they procure in house. So very low dependency on imports in that way. As we see, they have a vast distribution network, and the production capacity has been, you can say, upgraded all throughout the while over the last 4 5 years when there has been a downturn in their business. Now, basically, why the business did not perform that well is because their major portion of their business, which comes from the EPC division, that was not doing that well. So when I consider Voltas, people would talk about the fact that as a company, Voltas is basically into ACs, air conditioner or air coolers, but they are majorly into EPC projects, big projects, and producing those machinery for those EPC projects, and then executing those projects, especially in the Middle East and the Gulf countries. Now you would understand over the last 3 4 years what has been the global picture with respect to the economy, and even in India, in the domestic economy, things weren't that great for the company to do so well. Yes, their air conditioning business also suffered because their margins shrunk, because Blue Star, as their one of the competitors, did garner better market share, and you have seen how Blue Star as a company and as well as a stock has performed. But Voltas should come back into fashion, as there are many investment horizon that has been taken up by the government. There are, you can say, private investments that is picking up. So over the next couple of years, the management is pretty bullish on the, you can say, a complete picture with respect to their EPC business, their machinery business, and their engineering business. As far as their AC, air conditioning business or refrigerators, etc., is concerned, that will pick up over a period of time once the inflation cools off, because that's when people will have discretionary income to get ahead and buy into these kind of white goods products. And you have to understand that whatever the market leader in this space would still garner some amount of sales, or garner a greater amount of sales growth compared to a second or third in that list. And Voltas is not the leader in this space, and so they will struggle on that part. But their other businesses like the engineering business should pick up from here. And now let's discuss about the numbers, and we'll discuss about what lies ahead for the company. The December quarter was not that great, still the stock went up. What was the reason for the stock to go up even after, you can say, dismal December quarter numbers? We'll discuss about that as well. So as we see on the screener website, this is about the company. Now, as we look at the chart, so let's just analyze chart according to the numbers that have come up. So if you look at the price chart for the stock of Voltas, we are looking at, let's look at a 3 year, you can say, on a 3 year time horizon as to how the company has performed. If we look at that, we'll have a better understanding as to what is going on. So basically, around October 2021, when we had this bull run, Voltas was trading at 1325, and from there on in till about in the last 2 years, the stock has fallen. So basically, in the last 15 months, the stock has fallen from around 1330 all the way to 730 or so. So this has been a decline of around 600 rupees over a period of 15 months, which corresponds to somewhere around 40-45% of dip in the stock price. If I so actually it went to 730. So this was a decline of around 600 rupees on around 1330. So that's a dip of around 45%, as I mentioned, with respect to the stock price. Now let's correspond it with the numbers from the September 21 quarter till now. So quarter on quarter, let's look at September 21. We have seen 1689 crores of sales, 7% margin, 1794 in December 21. It went up in March 2667, in March 22, which was not quite great. So what happens here is, if you look at the December quarter, December 21, I'm saying 1800 crores of sales versus 2000 crores of sales in a very difficult December 20. And that meant that the stock had to fall because the margins did not pick up, profitability did not pick up, although India did open up quite a bit. And if you look at this year's numbers, it is sharply better. So once you compare December 20 to December 21, we are seeing virtually no growth whatsoever in the sales front. And on the profit front, if you see from 129 crores of net profit, it dipped to somewhere around 97 crores. So that's where the real problem started. And if you look at the stock price from November, December onwards, the stock started to fall from around these levels. It did not perform. The December number came out around Jan Feb, so the market was making up their mind, and eventually in May the stock fell sharply, probably after the March 22 numbers when they came out. So in March 22, what happened was, in a clean quarter where everything was opened up, they produced 2670 crores of sales nearly versus 2650 crores of sales in March 21, which was a difficult quarter altogether. And their bottom line or profitability was 239 crores versus 183 crores this time around. So what happened was, there's a sharp degrowth of virtually around 20% with respect to Voltas, and that led to the stock tanking. So if you look at here, March numbers would have came out by April end or so, and if you look at here from April onwards, the stock fell sharply from 13th April, 15th. I'm pretty sure around these levels numbers would have come out, and there was a sharp dip and it continued. Why it continued was, people expected that the numbers would keep on depleting, and that's exactly what happened in the best of the summer season, because they do sell AC. 30% of their business is through there. They ended up shrinking the margin altogether to 5%, then it went to 4%, and now it is down to 2%. So that's why the stock has gone from 1300 all the way till about February, up till 700 or so. Now, what has changed till now? So this is about as to why the stock fell all the way from these 1330 levels all the way to 700, and why the stock is picking up from here. There are a number of reasons for that. So we'll discuss that. First thing is, if you look at the margins overall, then if you look at the margins, then we are in a situation where the margins have gone to 2%. If you look at all throughout since December 19, the margins have remained above 2-3%. The worst it has been is 4% in June 20, in the worst of the environments. So what the street expects is that the margin is set to remain pretty, you can say, robust from here on in. Probably the margins have bottomed out altogether. If we look at, you can say, numbers from, that is what the street believes, that the margins might have bottomed out. Second reason is that the management itself is pretty robust, or is pretty confident of the fact that the numbers are set to improve, that they have said on the con call. So if you look at the numbers in December 22, Sales were 2000 crores versus December 21 sales being 1790, 1800 crores. So sales have improved compared to December 21. You can say growth year on year. December 22 growth have been better, 10-12% growth we have seen, versus no growth whatsoever. If you look at December 20 versus December 21, there has been virtually a degrowth altogether from 2000 crores to 1800 crores. It's back to 2000 crores. Yes, margins have gone to 2%. There was a exceptional thing where the other income came out to be 107 crores, which is expected to grow going forward, and that's why we had losses. So the last 2 quarters have had losses. Street believes that this is the worst that Voltas is going through, and personally speaking, I am also of the you can say thought that these kind of numbers should not be replicated from March onwards, and that's why the stock has picked up steam as we are seeing right now. So these are a couple of big reasons as to why. So and remember, the third reason here on in is that March, June and September are the best quarters for AC companies, for refrigeration companies, etc. They make HVACs, they make ACs, they make commercial ACs, refrigerators, coolers. So I believe that going forward, things should look better and the numbers should improve drastically, and that's why in anticipation of that, as we see here, the stock made a bottom around 730, 725 and has moved up. We have given a buy call around 800 on the stock, 780, 800. So 2-3 weeks back, right in January, I gave a buy call on that, and thankfully, alhamdulillah, it's working well. So if you really want to have that short term calls for you as well, you can become a member. You can subscribe to the Patreon network, as I mentioned. So overall, year on year speaking, sales have done decently, but profitability has not been that great. So profitability has remained there around 520 crores in 2017 to 506 crores today. Last 5 years have been pretty stagnant for the company. So expecting from FY24 onwards things to improve drastically from where it is currently. If you look at the balance sheet, so here reserves have increased from around March 16 to around you can say around 2800 crores of reserves to it has doubled over the last 6 years. Whereas if you look at their you can say debt, debt is there but not a lot. It's around 390 400 crores. It has you can say gone up a little bit, but it's gone not gone up sharply compared to the reserves that has been pretty robust over this period. If you look at their debtor days, that has remained quite fine, although it has moved up a bit to 97 days right now, but not out of whack at the moment. Inventory days has was started to come down, but by March 22 it went up. So all these inflated numbers in terms of ratios, etc., the street believes that it might be peaking out right now, and that's why the stock is bottoming out. If you look at the shareholding pattern, there 30% is with the promoters. The FIIs have drastically reduced their stake from 26% in March 22 all the way to 21.5%. Although DIIs have remained robust on the stock with a 31% stake, we expect that FIIs should come back and buy into the stock once numbers improve from March onwards. So overall, what the current situation is that it is a case of buying a stock at pretty reasonable valuations after the fall that has taken place. If you look at it right now, it is trading at 3 times price to sales around here. So if I look at from a price to sales perspective, because the company has come out with losses already, if I look at from price to sales perspective over a 3 year period, let's see over a 3 year period how things have panned out. So over a 3 year period, the median market cap to sales is around 4 times, and the stock is currently at 3 times sales. So that is where value comes in. Once the numbers improve and profitability over 2-3 quarters come in, we can judge on a PE basis as to where the stock is. But I'm sure on that basis as well, the stock is trading at very reasonable valuation. So I expect that median PE of 4, the peak PE for the, sorry, price to sales is 4, the peak price to sales for this company is around 5.5. So if I take on a price to sales basis, that it went to something like 3 times the price to sales, and I divide by 2, so we expect it to trade around 4.2 times price to sales going forward in 1 year time. Now currently it showed a 10%, roughly 10% sales growth. If we say that going forward in March quarter also they show a 10% sales growth, then let's just discuss about the numbers as to what the projection could be. So in FY23, I expect that in March quarter to have around 3,000 crores of sales. So overall, what they could end up being having is roughly around uh, we calculate everything and it comes out to be 9580 minus 150 or so, so 9400 crores of sales this time around. And the stock has a market cap of around 28,000 crores, so well under 3 times sales it is trading at. And going forward, let's say that even if it grows by around 11% on this, on the sales front, then we are looking at from 9400 crores, we are looking at something like 10,000, so 9400 into 11 uh, plus 9400, so this is 10,400 crores of sales, and the company is trading at 28,000 crore market cap. So on a 1 year forward FY24 basis, the company is trading at 2.7 times sales, and we are expecting it to go to 4.25 times sales. On 10,400 crores at 4.25 times sales, the stock should trade at 44,200 crore market cap versus the current market cap of around 28,200 or so. So we are in a situation where the stock could go up 50-60% from here. Let's take out 6% from this. So stock could go up 50% from these levels in the next 18 months or so. So a good upside possible if the numbers improve slightly. We are looking at a situation where the stock could be headed towards levels of if I add this 50% on this, 1280 or so. So I believe 1280 is a possible target for Voltas going forward in the next 1.5-2 years. Looks very interesting at these levels. And on any dips, if I look at technically speaking, then from a 1 year perspective, then we have a situation where it is trading at higher than the 50 DMA of 823. Any dip towards 830, 823 Voltas can be accumulated, and on a 200 DMA basis, any rise above 920, it's a huge buy. So I think these levels, and on dips to 820, one can accumulate it with a stop loss of 770, 760, and we can see a major upside on the stock. So this is Voltas, something for you for the next 1.5 years, that is set to do extremely well. So this was a video on Voltas. Please like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so you can get my video straight away when I post it, and kindly support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.